On Twitter, there's a hashtag called Jimmy Fallon uh, is over party. If you click on the hashtag, you'll see what will you see? You'll see people that are upset that Jimmy Fallon did. Jimmy Fallon is a night show is a night show host, and now he's doing a show obviously from on YouTube. What has he been? What is he doing? Did he do 20 years ago? He came on SNL and he basically did actually a great and really funny impersonation of Chris Rock, the comedian Chris Rock. And so people are upset at him for that because they're saying that he did blackface. He put on black, paint on his face, and he imitated a black comedian. Moreover, the other night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel did similar thing with where he imitated. Just one second, guys. Let me close the door. Where he imitated Karl Malone, the basketball player, right? And so now both of these comedians are basically being harassed by the Twitter mob, the social justice warrior Twitter mob, as it were, to the point, and it got to the point where Jimmy Fallon apologized on, I guess, on his Instagram or on his Twitter. I don't remember where he apologized. Where he posted it somewhere that he's sorry, he regrets it, blah blah blah. You know, the usual shtick. A day later, maybe the same day, comedian Jamie Foxx, comedian, actor, singer, everything under the sun, talented human being, Jamie Foxx came and on his all his stuff, and he basically said, "Dude, Jimmy, you don't have to apologize for anything, man. Like, you did this was not blackface. You did an imitation of Chris Rock. You cannot do an imitation of a African American comedian if you're a white guy without painting your face." And moreover, on top of that, he said, when we were doing the show in Living Color, if you guys remember, Jamie Foxx played a few characters on there. His main characters was Wanda, this black kind of funky lady. Um, and he said, we on Living Color, we played characters of all different races. So you guys remember, Jamie Foxx actually played an Asian guy, an Asian, this karate master or whatever it was. I think it was, yeah, it was him and not Damon Wayans, one of the Wayans brothers, one of the younger Wayans brothers. They played in the skit together. I remember this because I was a kid. I was watching the show. I was like 11 years old, 10 years old, and it was funny, my friends. It was funny. It was really really funny. And I will just tell you, and this is a message to all the social justice warrior people, the people that are offended at this. I'll tell you guys, if you're gonna go around canceling Jimmy Fallon, you might as well do the following. You might as well take Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder, where he put on blackface, he played a black guy. You might as well cancel him. Stop watching all the Iron Man movies. You might as well cancel, the Wayans brothers when they played white girls and they sang the N word in the car in the movie. White chicks, I'm sorry. You might as well cancel Eddie Murphy when he put on whiteface and he played a white guy on SNL. Let's see, who else can you cancel? You can cancel Dave Chappelle when he played the black white supremacist, the blind, the first skit that he ever had on the show. You can cancel him. Who else can you cancel? I'm just trying to think of all the people you can cancel. Every funny skit that ever was ever done by any comedian, where he either played a opposite or different race, or any comedian basically that covered race, right? Or lampooned, what's called lampoon, satired race in his skit. You can cancel Louis C.K., who was had this skit on SNL with actually with a black comedian. I forget her name. She used to be on SNL. Um, where he basically was like, it's called "This Is How I Talk." Very funny skit, very funny. My friends, you can just go around canceling comedians. Just cancel everybody while you're at it. Just cancel everybody. Just cancel the whole lot of them. Cancel, cancel, cancel. My friends, what do I mean to say here? As I said, and I hate to be right, America is sick. And when you talk to a sick person, a psychologically unwell person, and you tell them they have a problem, what do? Instead of going to get help, instead of going and talking out their problems, what do? They double down on their insanity, right? They double down on it. they start to actually act crazier, right? Instead of having the conversation about things, instead of trying to understand where the comedy and where the satire and where the nuance and where the subtlety and where the funny is actually coming from, what do? It's like a quick fix. Cancel, cancel, don't want to talk about it, cancel, 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 avoid, avoid, la 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 la. It's not there. If it's not there, if it goes away, then it never existed. It's not a problem. You have a problem? Get rid of it, cancel it. Let's not talk about it. Let's not actually tackle the issue. Dave Chappelle, when he made the black white supremacist skit, as funny as it was, there was a point there he was trying to make. He was trying to make a flippant point. He even said, when I came out with that skit, I, every other person, I would get call from people saying they loved it, or calls got death threats from people. And he said, I knew I was doing something right when that happened. People were like, how dare you? This is offensive, blah, 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 blah. Instead of actually talking about the issue, instead of actually like talking about, hey, maybe this is a skit to show us, if a guy, he grows up as a blind guy, but he's black and he's in the South, but he thinks he's white and he hates blacks and this and that, and then he finds out in the skit, if you guys remember in the skit, the guy finds out that he was blind, or rather, he knows he's blind, but he finds out that he's black, and then he divorces his wife of 35 years who was white. And then they ask him, Mr. Bixby, why did you divorce your wife of 35 years? He said because she was an N lover, because she loves a black guy, meaning him. He's the black guy that she loves, but he's so entrenched in his racism against black people, thinking that he's a white guy, because it's a mindset at this point for him that he he has to divorce his wife. I mean, it's my friends. Honestly, it's just brilliant. And the people who don't get this, who don't understand what I just explained, because I had to explain it to you, are idiots. They are my friends. I wrote this on my wall, on my Facebook wall. These people are mental midgets. They are, and some of these people, I said that some of these people are probably, they went to Harvard, they graduated Harvard, but you know what? You don't need to be smart to get into Harvard. You just have to know how to sit on your ass and get straight A's, right? To study. My friends, I mean, but it's one of those things where, like, if you don't understand humor and nuance and subtlety, I always say that people that are kind of like on this level, they're missing a microchip in their brain that doesn't allow them to be able to understand the nuance and the humor in these things, right? No, really, they're missing a component, an essential component in there's something in their psyche that doesn't allow them to understand it. Just like, Chris Rock went on stage years ago and started, and half the audience was white, laughing at this skit when he was talking about, black people versus ends, and it's funny, my friends, and it's funny. Why is it funny? Because he's talking about reality. He's talking about what he sees in front of his face. And you may say, well, a white person's not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say it, but you know what? We laugh at it, right? What? Sue us. Sue us for laughing at it. What, we're racist? My friends, a black comedian can get up, say certain things, and it's fine. I totally sanction them to say it. And half the audience could be white, and he could be saying the N word, and he could be saying racist things, and half the audience laughs at it. Does that make them racist? Should they be kicked out of the what is it called, the auditorium, the stadium, for laughing at these jokes? My friends, I mean, we're gonna get to a point where the only people that are gonna be allowed to go see black comedians are just only blacks, because only they can laugh at these words, at these phrases. Like what? Where are we at? You tell me, where are we at in society, right? Like we can't laugh at these things no more. We can't say them. We can't laugh at them. We can't have conversations where we open up to the other person about our grievances. And now we have what we have. We have a riot in Minneapolis, instead of people, and you have, and I heard on these videos, people were yelling at the rioters. They said, guys, this is not the way. I'm fully with you, right? But this is not the way. We can protest. We can voice our opinion loud, really loud if we want to, but this is not the way. To run into a Best Buy or wherever, electronic store, and loot the electronic store. I mean, friends, what changed since the not crown, since the what is it called? Since the riots in Watts in South Central Los Angeles after Rodney King. What changed? Seemingly things were starting to change, but clearly nothing changed. Why? Because we can't have the conversation. Because it's these actually white leftist social justice warrior people, these self-proclaimed intellectuals who actually don't even have the ability to laugh at anything that is that they might deem triggering or offensive. What do they laugh at? What's their version of comedy? I don't know. I'm trying to think what they think is funny. I can't think of a single thing. No, really, like I really can't think of their brand of comedy. It confounds me. But it's just, and it comes from these people, right? It comes from these people, and it comes from what people who call themselves progressive. A lot of them are Jewish, unfortunately. They run the media companies, and they are basically muzzling people. They're muzzling people. They're muzzling comedians. We've gotten to a point where comedians are basically uh, horrified to say things. I was just watching today a skit by none other than Dave Chappelle, right? You guys probably saw his special on Netflix, his latest one. He gets up there and he starts talking about Juicy Smollett, Jussie Smollett, whatever his name is, the guy who faked his own attack. So Dave Chappelle decided that he's going to make fun of him, right? And he calls him. He says the French actor Juicy Smouillet, right? And Juicy Smouillet, and he made this whole, and you could hear the tension in half of the crowd, both black people and white people. They were cringing, and I'm just sitting there, I'm watching this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you guys cringing? What is wrong with you? This is funny. This is meant to be funny. This is funny. It's not meant to be funny. It is funny. And half the crowd, including these white girls. I hate to say it. It's usually these like lefty white girls. More often than not, it's usually girls than guys that are sitting there, and they're just kind of like, they're turning over themselves like origami paper, cringing, folding at this black man who's talking about another black man who faked black and gay, who faked his own attack, to make it look like it was like Trump supporters attacked him. And then he weaved it in a brilliant way. He said, he was like, it got to a point where gay people were accusing black people of being anti-gay, and we said no, we're not. And you can tell that we're not gay. That we're actually supporting this guy. Why? Because with our silence, we knew why? Because we knew that he was lying. So we're just supporting him. Why? How? By actually just keeping quiet about it, right? he weaved it in a brilliant way. He's like, black people were supporting him. We were keeping quiet. We didn't say anything. We didn't say he was telling the truth. We didn't say he was lying. We just didn't say anything at all. Right? It's just brilliant the way he weaved this whole thing. Incredible. And it's funny, my friends. It's meant to be funny. It's meant to be thought provoking. It's meant to make you think. It's meant to make you question your own beliefs. That's the whole point of comedians. They're meant to get up on stage, and they're meant to question your own beliefs. They're meant to question your existence and laugh at yourself. This is what I want to say. If you don't have the ability to laugh at yourself as a society, if you take yourself so seriously, that is the first sign of a downfall of society. My friends, if you look at any dictatorship, totalitarian society, fascism, that's one of the telltale signs. When people have lost the ability to laugh at themselves, or allow certain people within society to lampoon or poke fun at, let's say, the leadership or whoever, or certain elements of society, and when they start suppressing those people that do that, that's when things turn very, very, very ugly. That's when things go south, my friends, and it's scary. That was its first sign when I saw these social justice warriors, these people, not just girls, guys too, coming out of college. And some of these comedians, if you talk to Jerry Seinfeld, he's afraid, he's horrified to go perform on campuses now. He said it openly. He said it to Chris Rock. Chris Rock agreed with him. Chris Rock, African American comedian and Jewish comedian, talking. If you guys ever see that episode, comedians and cars getting coffee, and he said, I'm deathly afraid to go on campus because I don't know, I might trigger somebody, I might this, I might that. might say the wrong thing. It's my friends, it's horrifying. You know, there's a skit that Seinfeld has about somebody waving somebody off like a gay French king. You know, he goes, it's like a gay French king waving somebody off. It's funny. It's just funny. It just like if you only just lighten up, it's meant to be funny, you know? And I don't know, my friends. I'm waiting. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for these people to go find, dig up, like I mentioned before, Robert Downey Jr.'s movie where he played in blackface or as a black guy, Tropic Thunder. Not only he played a black guy, there's a scene where he tells Ben Stiller, who was like an actor in the movie, he plays like an actor who does did a movie where he played like a fully Down syndrome person, and in the scene he goes to him, listen man, I'm gonna tell you why you never won the Oscar for your role, because you went what's called full retard, you played a fully Down syndrome person. The guy's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, look at all the other movies. You know, Rain Man. He's autistic, not retarded. This movie, he's this, not retarded. This another movie." So he named all these people one after the other, who won like Golden Globes and Oscars and all kinds of awards. And then he goes, "You want proof that going full retard? That you know you should never go full retard? Uh, uh, look at Sean Penn's character in I Am Sam. There was a movie called I Am Sam. Sean Penn played a fully Down syndrome person." He's like, and look what happened to him. He went home empty-handed. He didn't get an Oscar. It's hilarious. And my friends, of those of you watching the Social Justice Warriors, I hate to say it, you guys just right now with this Jimmy Fallon thing, you guys went full retard. You guys went full retard. And you know what? I suspect that you guys are gonna find that scene, and you're just gonna be like, how dare he put on blackface? How dare he say the word retard? How dare he disparage Down syndrome people? How dare this? How dare... I'm telling you, just you wait. My friends, again, I don't like being vindicated. I don't like being proven right. I don't like, being I don't know, I'm not a prophet. I don't like seeming like I'm one. I'm telling you, this is what's about to happen. This is the next stage of America's devolution. First, it was the inability to have conversations about race. Then it is suppressing comedy about race, racial comedy, whether it's from a white person or a black person. And the next stage is they're now going to cancel one of the most beloved actors, probably if not in the world, definitely in America, Robert Downey Jr., the greatest comeback story we've ever seen. You know, this is a guy who went through all kinds of problems with the law, with drugs and this and that, and he came back as like a brilliant actor in brilliant roles, very funny. And I'm telling you guys, watch what's going to happen. They're going to dig up that movie, they're going to dig up that scene, and they're going to cancel him, and they're going to force him to make an apology. And I think he already went on Joe Rogan. He had a very short appearance on Joe Rogan. It's like an hour long. You guys could see it, and he spoke about that. I think he mentioned that he's really concerned that these guys are gonna find him and they're gonna, it's like social justice warriors, SJWs. They have a particular set of skills. They will find you and they will kill you, or they will kill your career, my friends. This is where we're at. It's scary, my friends. It's scary. I had another friend tell me, a friend who made Aliyah, who moved to Israel a few years ago from Boston, and he told me, man, I saw this coming, all this stuff with the comedians, with this, with that, and I realized that this is the first thing, that one of the main things that happens when the country goes downhill, when it devolves into fascism, not from the government, but from in society, right, or certain elements of the government. I can tell you it's not Trump. It's not going to be Trump. Trump is not the PC warrior. Okay, it's going to be people on the left, and what I call the regressive left. It's going to be social justice warriors, college professors, and the Twitter mob, and the self-professed arbiters of, I don't know, comedy, right? And I guarantee you, even the self-professed lefty comedian Whoopi Goldberg, who sits on that panel at that show The View, I guarantee you, she is also shaking in her space boots. I guarantee you, and she knows that when this stuff hits the what, and it starts going south, she knows she's also going to be eaten alive. I'm telling you right now, guys. Anyway, my friends, so this is where we're at, and listen, I hope one thing, my friends. I hope that the Jewish people in all of this are not going to be blamed for it. Unfortunately, we probably will be. And again, like I said yesterday, I think that once things start happening, these machinations start happening in America, I would advise for the many of you watching, my Jewish brothers and sisters, just stay out of the way. Really stay out of the way. And if you can get on a plane and come to Israel, that's the best advice I have for you. Anyway, guys, all right. Chag Sameach. Enjoy your meals if you're going to a meal. Enjoy the Torah. And Shabbat Shalom. And I'll talk to you guys after the Hag. All right.